Rolex is great, but let's be real. It is the luxury watch equivalent of playing it safe. Iconic? Sure. But mind-blowing? Not anymore. If you are still dreaming about that Submariner or Daytona, I've got news. You might be missing out on watches that are smarter, weirder, more innovative, and in some cases, just flat out better. This isn't a Rolex roast, this is a wake-up call. Because the world of horology in 2025 has evolved, and we are going deep into watches that make you go, why didn't anyone tell me this existed? Let's break your brain, one watch at a time. Now before that, let's have a quick reality check. Look, I get it. Rolex is solid. It's reliable, instantly recognizable, and carries decades of heritage. As a first serious timepiece, a Submariner? Smart play. It makes sense. But here's the thing. Rolex plays the long game. It's dependable, but safe. It updates when it must, but it doesn't reinvent the wheel. It's a classic novel. Well written, but you've already memorized every chapter. In 2025, we're hungrier for stories. We want design that surprises, engineering that wows, and a concept that drops jaws. And that's why I have picked 6 Jacob & Co. timepieces that each smash Rolex in one bold way, while still respecting what Rolex brought to the table. So let's begin with number 1, the Twin Turbo Furious. This isn't a watch. It is a full-throttle horological engine. Raw mechanical velocity wrapped in black DLC titanium and carbon fiber. You don't wear Twin Turbo Furious, you grip it. Everything about this piece screams racetrack. From the pitboard lap time indicator, an in-house complication that you won't find anywhere else, to the sound-reactive decimal minute repeater, this is not just timekeeping. It is timing the race of your life. The case measures 57 by 52 millimeters, but it's more cockpit than casing. Its silhouette is sculpted and aerodynamic, with an art sapphire crystal that curves like the windshield of a hypercar, giving you a panoramic view of the 832-piece mechanical beast beneath. Even the case shape feels alive, three-dimensional, layered, muscular, sharp. Dominating the inside are 2 triple-axis tourbillons, each spinning across 3 independent axes. One every 24 seconds, another every 48, and a third every 180, in constant overlapping motion. It's like watching 2 gyroscopes dueling for gravitational supremacy, only that they're balanced in perfect harmony. The smoked sapphire dial reveals every piston and gear, accented by skeleton rhodium-plated hands that float over the display like precision steering wheels. This isn't decoration. This is the closest that horology comes to mechanical opera. The strap is alligator leather, bold and stitched for grip. It ends in a DLC-coded deployant clasp, machined with the same attitude as the supercar's pedal box. At $550,000, you're not paying for time. You're paying for mechanical adrenaline, designed to make Rolex look like cruise control. Only 18 exist. Each one was built like a racing prototype. Not for everyone, but exactly for you if you want a watch that redlines every expectation. Now, number 2. Astronomia Casino Rose Gold. Imagine strapping a roulette table, a diamond, a spinning globe, and a tourbillon to your wrist. And all of it actually moves. That's what this watch does. It's not subtle, and it was never meant to be. The design pulls from Monte Carlo nights, golden age casino luxury, and the thrill of risk. But instead of throwing chips, you're turning heads. The entire upper carousel is shaped like a roulette turret, complete with 4 sculpted spokes and a ceramic ball that dances across a base of 37 lacquered pockets, just like the real game. Red, black, and that signature green 0 are hand-lacquered into an 18-karat gold platform, designed to be both visually hypnotic and mechanically brilliant. At its core, the Astronomia Casino is powered by the JCAM 36 caliber, a hand-wound movement made of 390 components that animate a vertical rotating platform. The entire platform rotates once every 10 minutes, while the triple-axis tourbillon completes a full spin every 60 seconds. One arm of the mechanism carries a dazzling 1-carat, 288-facet Jacob-cut diamond, rotating every 30 seconds opposite a magnesium globe representing Earth. On the opposite side, a blued titanium dial holds an off-centered hour and minute display, balanced by a differential gear so that it always stays upright as the mechanism rotates. The alligator leather strap, rich and textured, is secured by a matching 18-karat rose gold deployant clasp. The curve of the sapphire glass amplifies the floating effect of the movement, turning this watch into a kinetic sculpture rather than a simple wrist instrument. Even its height, 24 millimeters, serves a purpose, to give the internal theater enough stage to shine. Priced at $620,000, this is the antithesis of a Rolex. Rolex stands for discipline, legacy, and precision. This? It's audacity wrapped in horology. Jacob & Co. doesn't just measure time, it spins it, balances it, sets it on fire, and lets it perform. For the collector who prefers spectacle over tradition and craves mechanical wonder over conservative precision, this is the one that transcends the category entirely. A Rolex tells time. This watch plays with it. Number 3. Caviar Tourbillon. This isn't just luxury, it's liquid shadow. An ultra-dense obsidian black storm of spinels, invisibly set across every surface until the watch disappears into a flawless, glistening mirror of gemstone geometry. The Caviar Tourbillon is exactly what it sounds like. A wrist-bound tin of ultra-refined indulgence. Inspired by the surface tension of real caviar, packed so tightly that the pearls press flat, Jacob & Co. recreated that effect, not with brown brilliance, but with razor-precise baguette-cut black spinels, each one cut in place so meticulously that they lock into a seamless, uninterrupted surface. This isn't your classic Rolex paved in diamonds. This is architectural gem setting taken to an obsessive level. The case is covered with 224 black baguette spinels, and the dial with another 130, each one invisibly set on 18-karat white gold like obsidian bricks in a temple of precision. A rose-cut spinel, roughly 1 carat, sits in the crown like a void stone, anchoring the entire aesthetic in moody brilliance. Even the movement, a self-winding tourbillon engine, is decorated with 338 brilliant cut black spinels, because Jacob doesn't believe in empty space. Everything sparkles. Everything matters. The 1-minute flying tourbillon rotates silently at 6 o'clock, hovering like a heartbeat beneath the deep black crystal surface. This isn't added complexity for the sake of it. It is watchmaking mastery wearing a black tuxedo and sunglasses at midnight. The hands are skeletonized and shaped exclusively by Jacob & Co., subtle enough not to steal attention from the symphony of light beneath, but also sharp enough to be noticed by those who really look. It all sits beneath anti-reflective sapphire, topped with a 47mm diameter that demands attention. Not with flash, but with presence. Wrapped in a hand-stitched alligator strap, it closes with an 18-karat white gold deployant clasp, invisibly set with another 18 baguette spinels, because of course it is. Only 9 pieces exist in the world. This isn't about wearing wealth, it's about wearing control. A stillness so perfect, so black, so deliberate, that even time feels honored to pass through it. The price? $700,000. But you're not buying a watch, you're buying a black hole. One of only 9 in existence, where time, light, and logic collapse into wearable power. Rolex makes watches that you celebrate with. This is what you wear when you've already won. Number 4, Astronomia 4-axis tourbillon rose gold. You're not just wearing a watch, you are wearing a universe built in rose gold and sapphire. One that spins on 4 axes like it's defying gravity and logic all at once. Jacob & Co. doesn't hint at space exploration, it engineers it. This timepiece was born from Jacob Arabo's obsession with celestial mechanics. And what began in 2014 as a concept became a technical masterpiece that now rotates a full 360 degrees in just 60 seconds. That's not a metaphor. The entire vertical structure with its tourbillons and rotating platform literally spins on your wrist. Rolex doesn't build motion sculptures, it builds machines. It's kinetic poetry. At 47 millimeters wide and 27 millimeters tall, the case is constructed like a dome of curved sapphire, framed in 18-karat rose gold. The glass alone curves so seamlessly that it disappears. You don't see the boundaries, just the orbiting movement inside. Beneath it, a mirror-polished mosaic of rose gold flashes like jagged meteorite shards, reflecting the planetary rotation above. The tourbillon system is ferocious, spinning across 4 separate axes. The balance never sleeps. Triple-axis tourbillons are rare. 4-axis? This is the first. Strapped to the wrist with red alligator leather and closed with a matching rose gold clasp, this is not worn, it's commanded. $700,000 isn't paying for a brand, it's securing a moving sculpture, the only one in its class. Rolex keeps time. Jacob & Co. reimagines it. Number 5. Astronomia Art Métier d'Art Pandas. Some timepieces tell time. Then some timepieces tell stories. And this one? It tells a myth. It whispers it in diamonds, rose gold, lacquer, and hand-carved pandas frozen mid-movement. Like they've paused just long enough for you to catch a glimpse into another world. The Astronomia Art Panda isn't a watch that you wear casually. It's a time sculpture. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's Jacob & Co. at its most unfiltered, fusing high watchmaking, artisanal craft, gem setting, and kinetic sculpture into something so unique that it makes traditional haute horlogerie feel restrained. Inside the 47mm domed sapphire case, you don't just see a dial, you enter a whole microcosm. At the base, 2 hand-painted, hand-engraved pandas sitting calmly among finely chiseled bamboo stalks, all set in 18-karat rose gold. Surrounding them, 211 baguette-cut white diamonds sparkling like dew at sunrise, along with an emerald green Jacob-cut zirconia, placed deliberately on top like a symbol of vitality and serenity. Now, look up. 4 arms orbit above this scene in a hypnotic vertical ballet. One holds a 1-carat Jacob-cut diamond with 288 facets, the kind of cut exclusive to Jacob & Co. Another, a magnesium globe finished in deep sky blue lacquer, rotating in 30-second cycles. And then there's the 60-second tourbillon, not just fighting gravity, but doing it in style, exposed, refined, alive. Finally, the time display itself, elegantly floating, unobtrusive, keeping you grounded while the rest of the scene dreams. Even the lugs are jeweled, 28 baguette savorites, fading from deep green to soft lime like forest leaves in motion. The strap is black alligator, classic and textural, closed with a rose gold deployant buckle set with another 18 baguette white diamonds. Because restraint isn't the goal here. And, unlike a traditional crown, this watch uses rotating bows on the case back to wind and set time. It's unconventional, but elegant, and completely in sync with the rest of the piece. With only 9 ever made, this is a conversation between craftsmanship and imagination that almost no one gets to wear. And yes, this masterpiece commands a price to match, $960,000. But you're not just buying a watch, you are commissioning a piece of horological theater, a miniature world orbiting at your command. Rolex builds icons. Jacob & Co. builds worlds. This one just happens to orbit your wrist. And finally, number 6, Opera Godfather Baguette. You're not wearing a watch. You are wearing a scene from a film that changed cinema forever. This is storytelling on your wrist, built in 658 mechanical parts and dressed in almost 30 carats of invisibly set baguette-cut diamonds. That's not fling, that's high jewelry engineering. Invisible gem setting so precise that the surface looks like it's poured from light. The entire piece is constructed in 18-karat rose gold, wrapped in anti-reflective sapphire crystal, with a case back also in full rose gold. It's 49 millimeters wide, 20 millimeters tall, but not bulky. This is grandeur, not girth. The dial itself is smoked sapphire, a moody canvas that makes the miniature Don Corleone sculpture inside feel like a god sitting in shadow. Sitting at the core is a flying triple-axis tourbillon. Not one, not two, but 3 axes of rotation. It spins with chaotic beauty. 24 seconds on one axis, 48 on the next, and 180 on the third. This isn't for accuracy, it is pure theatrical watchmaking. There's even a violin-shaped winding crank hidden in the strap system, an ode to Nino Rota's haunting score. And then there's the showstopper. Press the side pusher, and it plays the Godfather theme. Not digitally, with a mechanical 2-cylinder music box and comb system that rotates the movement 120 degrees in 30 seconds while playing that unforgettable melody. And yes, it's in tune, timed, and brilliant. The cylinders and case are paved with 666 brilliant cut white diamonds, surrounding the 305 invisibly set baguette cut diamonds on the case, 60 more on the dial, and 64 decorating the components. Even the clasp has 18 invisibly set stones. You are looking at a 1 of 6 worldwide release. This isn't a timepiece that you hide under a cuff. It's a $1.1 million audible, visual, and emotional explosion. A Rolex might whisper class, but this roars culture. Jacob Arabo created it as a personal tribute. His first movie in the US was The Godfather. He made his dream wearable. Strap it on with black alligator leather, and you have got old-world mafioso energy paired with modern horological absurdity. You wear this, you don't explain anything. The watch does all the talking. Now, why do these 6 Jacob & Co. watches go beyond Rolex? Let me say it again. Rolex isn't the enemy. Rolex is great. Rolex says you've arrived, you know quality, and you're playing in the big leagues. But what happens after that? Here's the truth. Wearing a Rolex is a statement, but it's one that's been made millions of times. It's reliable, it's refined, it's safe. But if you're the kind of person who doesn't just walk into a room, but rather shifts its gravity, safe just isn't your vibe. Each of these timepieces from Jacob & Co. is a category of its own, combining horological insanity with design that punches through the expected. You're not just wearing time, you're wearing a story. The 6 watches that we reveal don't just tell time, they tell tales. Each one is a cinematic universe on your wrist. From celestial movements orbiting miniature hand-carved pandas, to a blacked-out storm of invisible set spinels, to racing-inspired chronographs built like F1 engines, these pieces don't whisper status, they roar identity. Now compare that to Rolex. Clean dials, classic bezels, and subtle design language that says refinement. That's great, but it's also expected. Jacob & Co. flips the script. You're not just showing up in the world, you're leaving an impression that etches into memory. These timepieces are wearable art, often built around themes like galaxies, luxury foods, vintage heirlooms, or wild mechanical dreams. So, if you want your timepiece to spark conversation, curiosity, and the occasional stunned silence, this collection is for you. Exclusivity that is actually exclusive. Let's be real. The word exclusive gets thrown around too much in luxury, especially when talking about Rolex. But how exclusive is something when hundreds of thousands are made annually, and the waiting list feels like a Costco line with better suits? Jacob & Co. doesn't play that game. The watches are literally made in quantities of 9, 18, or 199. That's not branding, that's production reality. These pieces aren't just rare, they're practically mythical. Owning one isn't about flexing money, it's about joining a secret club where the doors are closed before most people even know they exist. When someone spots one of these watches in the wild, they don't nod in recognition, they double take in disbelief. Now compare that to a Submariner or a Daytona. Yes, they're valuable and coveted, but they're recognizable. Everyone's uncle, lawyer, or crypto bro has one. If you value true scarcity, authentic rarity, not hype scarcity, what's coming next will absolutely wreck your perception of luxury. Technical mastery that's just showing off now. Jacob & Co. doesn't build watches to play by the rules. They build them to break gravity. Tourbillons? Not just one, sometimes 3 or 4. Chronographs? Not just lap timers. Pitboard record breakers with race car mechanics inside. Rotating globes? Diamond cores spinning on 30-second axes. Minute repeaters? Engineered to ring like cathedral bells, but with decimal accuracy. Rolex movements are fantastic, no denying that. They're known for consistency, endurance, and masterful simplicity. But these watches? They're the Marvel movies of horology. Spectacle plus innovation equals insane technical flex. These watches aren't just functional, they're feats. Each one is an engineering monument worn on the wrist. So, if you're into watches that do more than just tick, that perform, transform, and memorize, stay locked in, because what's next will blow your mechanical mind. Design that doesn't apologize. Rolex's design is timeless, yes, but it's also conservative by nature. You get variations in color, bezel, or material, but the core rarely changes. That's the point. Consistency, tradition, brand recognition. Jacob & Co.? The entire philosophy is, let's see how far we can push the edge without falling off it. These designs are pure emotion. Gravity-defying domes of sapphire glass. Black diamonds set invisibly like cosmic shrapnel. Hand-sculpted animals in 18-karat gold perched beneath rotating tourbillons. All blended into a futuristic silhouette that feels straight out of a sci-fi fever dream. There are no compromises made for mass appeal, no fear of being too much. Each piece feels deliberately intense, whether it's dark and stealthy or lit up like a gemstone supernova. These watches have presence. They take up visual space. They pull focus in the most intentional way. Not because they scream, but because they sing opera in a room full of whispers. So, still think that Rolex is the final boss? Look, Rolex is a masterpiece of consistency, a trophy of tradition, and for millions, it's the dream. But if you're the kind of person who sees the horizon and walks past it, Jacob & Co. is where the map ends and the legend begins. These timepieces are made for people who don't want what everyone else has, not even at the top. Because once you've played the Rolex game and won, you don't need another win. You need a legacy. Hit like, drop a comment with your favorite model, and make sure to subscribe for more watches that break the rules, and also rebuild the world around your wrist.